Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bacon-Cheddar, and I'm going to be doing a new series I'm calling I Am the Hound, my hound cap on. Uh, yeah, I just wanted to touch on a couple of things today. The first thing I'm going to touch on is something that really is starting to piss me off when I see it, and that is the grave robbing that is being done by a lot of people in the HPL, Howard Phillips Lovecraft fandom. You see, I've got groups on Facebook that I'm part of, and I see a lot of social justice crap taking it over, and it's really pissing me off. So I just wanted to let everyone know, uh, audience alert, you will be probably get a bit of a rant. It might have some language in it. Um, so that being said, we'll kick it on. So the series I'm doing is the I Am the Hound series, as I call it now. It's kind of a reference to one of his stories called The Hound, which is about a couple of grave robbers that steal some artifact from a grave in Europe, and they go back to England, and then some supernatural entity is chasing them down, trying to kill them for it. So it ends up where the entity ends up killing them and all that. Well, the moral of the story is don't go grave robbing. So I'm going to try to kind of call people to task. Specifically today, my calling out of the cowardice and the reprehensible behavior of authors like Webb, that wrote Lovecraft Country, and the LA Times for publishing an article boosting the show that's terrible, the shit show called Lovecraft Country that I've already done a video on. So we need to make sure. Any noise there? Can you hear me? Hold on. I want to make sure that we're getting audio. Anybody? Hold on. Let me get my phone out here. Make sure I can hear myself. Don't want to go too far into it. Let me see. Can I hear me? Can I hear me? Yes, we're good. So you're verified. I don't have a crew, so okay, so cool. So anyhow, yeah. So like when authors like Joshi come out to defend them, they also have to put in their biographies about how, oh yeah, redeemed himself, and a lot of the times you see people that really love to capitalize on the whole mythos system to really kind of crap on the author, which is not fair. So the author of this chicken shit article is Meredith Blake from LA Times, and I'm going to call her out because she's a writer for the LA Times, so she's public, so it's all good. But she in her article talks about these other authors that love to just, like I said, they boost off of his history, they boost off of his legacy and off of his stories, but they also have no trouble taking the money out of his pocket, even though he can't, verbally defend himself because he's been dead for like 100 fucking years. So it's kind of chicken shit. So I want to come back and kind of be the voice in defense of Lovecraft here, and all these people. I mean, it's pathetic, really. So that being said, that chicken shit coward author of that article in the New York Times, or LA Times, sorry, LA Times, leftist rag, LA Times. Um, that person, that coward author, deserves what she's getting from me, which is just basically talking shit. Um, Webb's always been a kind of a fucking coward too, with his, I'm gonna write Lovecraft Country, and then I'm gonna go suck Jordan Peele's cock and get that on HBO, and then JJ Jar Jar Abrams with his, after he's done pillaging all the stories he can, he will destroying all the legacies and all the great Star Wars, Star Trek, whatever, name it. J.J. Abrams has probably raped it. So that's been said. I'm done with that rant. But as you guys know, I was trying to get something published. I'm still trying to get something published, but everything's seasonal. But I will say that I'm only going to apply or try to send it to magazines that do not have these special little group dynamic, these little, these preferences. Preferences is a nice way to put it. Preferences is how they say it. These literary magazines. I did apply. I did send a story into the Dark magazine, which did not have that kind of a preference when I looked into them, which was great. And I know that my story didn't get picked, but that's whatever. It's going to happen. It's like there's 5 stories they picked, and there's probably tens of thousands of submitted. So I figured I'm at least better than 6,000 of them. So what else? But I noticed a lot of them had normal people submit and then special groups submit, and the special group submit got preferential treatment. Now this is, I'm gonna say, the alphabet mob have their special treatment group, and then the BIPOC mob have their special treatment group. And if you're not in any of those, you got to go into lowly, normal ass people group. Now, I will say that I have actually considered changing my name on my. I've actually considered, because of this, giving my wife credit on all of my stories, because she's Filipino American. She's a female, and she's not from the United States. She was born overseas. So I've actually considered giving her credit for all the stories I write, giving her all the credit, and then having her get them published in my name or in her name. It sucks, huh? It sucks. Oh yeah, and you got the people defending it. Oh yeah, you had 100 years, 200 years of head start, and I'm like, fuck you. I had no head start. Fuck you. If you think you get the privilege card. Well, great. You're a coward. Fucking hide behind your fucking mob. Because that's what it is. It's total bullshit. It's not fair. Oh, now you know what he's like. Eat a bunch of cocks. It's not fair. Let's say if you're a magazine that has, we're going to prefer to publish shit writing from these fucking people because they're a different color than you, then I'm going to call you what you are. You're a racist. You are racist. Your magazine is racist, and you are racist. Because your editorial staff prefers certain colors, certain genders, certain people, certain sexualities. You are a bigot. So what I want to do is I want to get a group of potential writers together, and maybe we could work on somehow getting a self-published thing going on with a literary journal that literally refuses to acknowledge nation of origin, race, religion, any sort of background like that. We will refuse to acknowledge anything like that. We will even request your bio not include anything depicting, so that we are not swayed in either direction, just for the sake of a preference sake. So, like for instance, if you were to send us stories, I haven't worked the logistics of this out yet, but I'm pretty good about having you send us stories, and then don't send your bios or your vitals until we contact you about whether or not we would like to go forward. So that way there's no potential to have any discrimination of any kind. Usually, a lot of times people will do self-insert stories, and they will insert themselves into the story. But I've seen a lot of people that are really good at not doing that. I don't mind if you do a self-insert, but that may weigh on, if it may contribute to some sort of discrimination. That's terrible, and that would be suck. But yeah. Anyhow, like I said, I've been trying to get authors together. Haven't gotten any successful. Haven't been able to reach to anybody yet. I would like to get a group of writers together so we can do our own thing. I'm so tired of the establishment, as they call it, I guess, punk rock and all that. I'm so tired of the established system of doing things. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I grew up being in a generation, being 40 years old. I grew up in a generation of people that said whatever they wanted to each other, but always had respect for each other. And now we live in an eggshell community where you're going to hurt somebody's feels, and they're going to get all crybaby crap. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of that shit. Just grow up. People aren't going to say what you want to hear all the time. Go to Chaz if you want to, live off the grid, whatever. But yeah. So I'm kind of brokenhearted because there's a lot of magazines out there that I have wanted to contribute to, and then I've read some of the stories that they've gone forward with, and I'm reading like sample chapters of these stories from their magazine, and I'm going, holy crap, this is shit. And now I'm thinking, oh, well, I know why this person got published, because of X, Y, and Z. And that's not fair to that author, because it's like they're not good enough to be published, whereas I feel that I am. And, this could be just me bitching and complaining about not making it. Well, what big deal? One submission, one failure. It's like I'm 40 years old. I've used to failure by now. Anyhow, yeah, that's something that's been kind of irking me, is I guess the lack of transparency too in the whole system. It'd be nice to get like reasons. I understand if you got like thousands of submissions, you can't really just give everybody a breakdown of what's wrong or why they said no. You just got to take no, and that's it. That's fine. Like I said, this is not directed at any particular in anybody, because I've only submitted one story to one publisher, and it's not like I'm directing it at them, because I'm not, because they didn't have that on their website for their submissions. I actually preferred that. I did not want to go through like, and let me name names. I didn't want to go through like dark horror? No, what were they? Let me see if I can find them on my browser here, my browser history. No, it looks like I lost them when I restarted. Okay. Anyhow, there was dark fantasy, dark fiction, something like that. They had the BIPOC, homosexual, BIPOC, people of color, people of LGBT alphabet, plus whatever, +7 carry the Y. That whole thing. They had that literally on their website for submissions, which I kind of find disturbing. But so that's my little rant for the day. Like I said, to the LA Times, I mean, this article is from 2020, so it's before everybody realized how shit that show was. So the LA Times author is probably somebody that couldn't get a real, write stories, so she has to make shit up about people. Meredith Blake, you're a coward. You're a coward. You hit people that are dead, that can't fight back. Well, I'm fighting back. So, and if any of the actors named in here, I don't blame the actors for taking gigs. So I don't have any hate for the actors in the show, because, honestly, they're just actors. They're people pretending to be other people. They're people that don't have a real, I guess, a self. They don't have a self. They pretend they're other people. They're like wearing skin, pretending to be human. Kind of like the politicians of this world. So I don't blame them, you know, okay. Yeah, Lovecraft's bigotry is most evident in his voluminous correspondence. Oh, so his private letters, we could have written to people in anger. Yeah, let's go through all that. Horrid Red Hook. Oh, you can't be an Irish detective. Irish are just white, right? Us Irish people, we're just white, right? That's what happened. It's like it is racist to call people white. Racist to call people black. Aren't we supposed to be? I'm Irish American. I'm not white. So, like, oh, the racist white detective. I'm sure that Lovecraft was probably not too fond of Irish Americans, to be honest, because we were typically we were either cops or criminals in New York. I don't. I'm not afraid to say that. Um, yes, the devil worshiping cult, and then I love how it goes into the shadows over Innsmouth, and it doesn't talk about. It's like, oh yeah, it's about race mixing and all this evil stuff about race mixing, and I'm like, dude, the guy in the story, from his perspective, is a mix. He's part deep one. He says it in the fucking story. You hack. Read the fucking story before you start talking shit. He's like, oh yeah, Shadow over Innsmouth talked about strange fish people, monstrous fish people. He's fucking turning into one in the story, you diphead. Ah, dickhead. Can't even cuss right. Fucking rough. What a fucking piece of shit. Oh, I got a statuette of the. Oh, this is what Nettie Okora for. I'm sure she made a bunch of money off of, Cthulhu. Who hasn't? A statue of this racist man's head in my home. A statue of his racist man's head. One of my greatest honors as a writer. Yeah, because you probably fucking suck. You probably got that award because, let's just say, somebody preferred you because you're in a certain block of people. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to go too far into that. Joshi came to bat for him a little bit. Hugo. Oh, Hugo Awards. Aren't those named for Victor Hugo? Is he racist too? Can we take Victor Hugo out of the Hugo Awards? I believe that they're named for Victor Hugo. Don't quote me on that, but I'm sure they are. Oh, he's a racist. Didn't he write like the Scarlet Letter or something? Oh yeah, he's a freaking anti-feminist. Oh, he's a pro-feminist because in those days, talking about a lady being an adulteress and not, getting a letter put on her, it was no. I'm not going to go into that. In those days, he was a hero, right? Talks about his effective mixed race horde. Yeah, but the guy in the story is mixed race. He is a part deep one. He's get the Innsmouth look. You fucking retard. The Ballad of Black Tom Rider, Victor Laval. Yeah, another one that's dancing on his grave, picking his pockets while he's dancing on his grave. Fucking coward. Fucking cowards, all of them. Rough. What a coward. I was partly inspired to write Lovecraft Country by Pam Knowles' essay Shame about the pain of being a black Star Wars fan. Dude, there's black Star Wars fans since Lando. Come on. People like Star Wars of all races and ages and spectrums until they fucking destroyed it. J.J. Abrams. Jar Jar Abrams. Man, Ruff was a coward, man. What a piece of shit. Yeah, that's what we get, though. That's what we get. A bunch of little pile-on cowards, and then they're changing the whole paradigm, right? We got the H.P. Lovecraft Film Festival kissing their ass. We got the Lovecraft, anything Lovecraft, HPL. We're gonna put his name on it, then we're gonna shit on him, but we're gonna keep that money coming in because we want to look like we're woke. We want to be woke, but we're just cowards that can't handle it. You know what? All you do. So this is the reaction you should have to the mobs of the world that are going to tell you how to think and how to act. They go, oh, you need to do this, this, and this. Otherwise, we're going to cancel you. You know what you do? You go, right here. Sit and spin, fucker. Sit and spin, because I don't give a fuck what you try to do to me. You don't apologize to these people. These people are cowards. So, but they all like to sit in their little ivory tower in their glass house. But they like to sit in their glass house and throw stones. Right? Right? I mean, Mr. Rough, Mr. I'm a white guy going to talk about black problems. Yeah. Yeah. That's how it is. I was a little more mad about this than I realized when I started this. So I just think it's just a whole lot of crybaby crap. And it's starting to turn me into a crybaby, and it's starting to, and I hate that shit. I was just like, go through it, deal with it. I'll live, whatever. Fuck them. I'll get my own thing going. But it's like, dude, they're trying to cut everybody down. They're trying to cut everybody down that doesn't agree with them. What happened to punk rock? Well, it sold to Che Guevara. You know, it turned into a bunch of leftist crybabies. You didn't see Crass doing that back in the day. Crass, not the Clash, Crass. The Clash were Sandinistas, bunch of commie leftists anyway. But Crass was not. I mean, they were more anarchistic, but that's beside the point. This is a self-governance. That's what we all wanted. That's what we all need. But that being said, now I'm on to punk rock and why it's dead. And it's dead. It was dead before Green Day, even before Billy Joe Armstrong crawled out of his mother's womb. Punk rock is dead. Dead as a doornail. All it is a style. It's a hot topic fad. And the only people that dye their hair now, I could go into that, but then I'd get fucking canceled myself. Yeah, punk's dead. Freedom's dead. Freedom of speech is dead. And the worst part is I don't agree with Lovecraft on like anything. But let me say something right now. I love his stories, but I am a devout fundamental Baptist that loves his stories. And I think the world is like 7,000 years old. Okay. So, I can reconcile that because I don't have to be in his stories for them to be something to me. Right. I don't have to be little Lovecraft to like his stories. I don't have to be baby Lovecraft clone that does everything he did, because we're different people. That's why you're allowed to have freedom. That's what you're supposed to have. Yeah. Fundamental Baptist. He was like a humanist or something. I don't know. I don't go into that. It's either Christian or not Christian. And then after that, it just gets lost in the weeds. But I know he wasn't a Christian. But that's fine with me, because he doesn't have to be the same as me for me to enjoy his work. And if you guys can't figure that out, we don't need to have a person that looks and sounds and acts just like us for us to appreciate that person, then that is what I would say. That would be bigotry. You're a bigot. You can't handle people that are different than you in any way. You can't enjoy their art. Shit got deep. When all punk rock sounds the same, it's just a style. It's just a fad. Prog metal, that's where it's at. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. Music in general. It's all a fad now. Yes, you can use it to get people emotionally involved in things. You can use it to promote a cause. Well, I'll tell you right now, music is fashion, music is industry, and music is controlled. Just like short stories, or just like us, or short story, just like movies, just like television, just like the Netflix, whatever you're watching. Hell, even on YouTube, they control the algorithms so you can only see certain things. Hell, they'll stop your live stream in the middle of a live stream. They'll stop your video in the middle of a video. Set it to private. Take Steven Crowder off the air, even though I don't really care about it. I'm trying not to laugh. Oh man. So hey, speaking of which, you guys want to talk about canceled? Okay. Here's three different people I can think of. And they're not supposed to be said. I don't think they're supposed to be said on YouTube. I don't think you can say them. Three different people that I've seen canceled in the last few years, just the last few years. And one of them's off and on again. And Crowder is that one that's off again, on again. Where's Alex Jones? He's been unpersoned. He tried to destroy his entire empire because he said some shit. Freedom of speech, freedom of press, that doesn't exist no more. Okay, that's out of the way. Who else has been unpersoned? Who else is it? Ooh, there's been some comedians unpersoned. Mr. the Bear himself, Owen Benjamin. Where's he at? He shows up once in a while in somebody else's videos on here, but you don't see that going on very often. You don't even see them referencing that video that he was on, like with the Brunoverse. When he was on Jim Brewer's show. You don't see that referenced anywhere else in Jim Brewer's library, do you? He must have got that warning email about this guy. How about with who else is it? I said three, right? I gotta remember who the third one was. Who was the third one that got canceled? Big name. What was his name? Oh gosh. He's the whole toxic male guy. What's his name? Oh crap. I'm not gonna even defend him. I don't even really watch him. But it's like, why are we unpersoning people? Don't you guys see it? It's fucking 1984 all over again. All right, here we go. 1984. Is Orwell canceled yet? Oh, he named a pig Napoleon, and Napoleon was this and that, and he's a short man, and so he's ableist because he make fun of a short guy, even though Napoleon was average height at this time. That's where we're at? The canceling. I don't even care. I don't even care anymore. It's like, what are we gonna do? Get canceled? Who cares? Young people are gonna get online and watch people play video games that they own instead of playing them their fucking self. That's the world we live in, where we have kids get online and watch people play fucking Minecraft when they have Minecraft on their computer and they could play it their fucking self. You know, it's ridiculous. Oh, I'm going to get up and watch somebody play Ark, the game that nobody liked. Like 5 people play it still. And then they're going to make a second one. Nobody going to care. Oh, yeah, sandbox games. I like to play sandbox games. But it's like, I remember when games had stories, storylines. But they've been freaking canceling that shit too. Tifa had too big of tits, so we got to get her off the air. And then I probably sound like a schizophrenic jumping from topic to topic, but it's like, what are we doing? What's going on right now, right, Joe Biden? Like, what are we doing as a society? We've got people. Some have been dead for 100 fucking years, and you got people talking shit about them in newspaper clippings because they're concerned about the money. They're not concerned about the money getting taken from his legacy. Everyone's allowed to freaking grave rob now off of Lovecraft. They're making these stupid little cartoons about him. I mean, Possum Reviews did a great review on a crappy cartoon made from Lovecraft, the Howard Phillip and the Undersea Kingdom or something. I only remember it because I just saw an ad for it somehow. I don't know why, but it's like, really, we're gonna do this? We're gonna dig up somebody's past letters, his private correspondence, because he was a famous figure that. It's private. It's like saying, oh yeah, Alex Jones, you texted this to Paul Joseph Watson as a private conversation that you guys got access to. And you're going to say that somehow was defamation. A private conversation between two people is now defamatory. Yeah, that's why I said defamatory instead of defamatory. That's why I didn't get my short story published because I don't know how to use words. But so that's all that. It's been lovely, but I got to go pick up the kids. That's right, I had kids, so you're gonna have another generation of this crazy shit going on. And my kid's smarter than me, so be scared, be very afraid. He's already writing stories. I read one he wrote when he first learned how to write. He wrote a story. Granted, it was kind of derivative from the pizza and taco story, but I read it out loud. I read it on this channel. So yeah, so this one's not for the kiddies. Definitely make sure that I warned you guys at the start. Not for kids. And my gripes are pretty much just accountability, really. It's like we want the liberty to say whatever we want and do whatever we want and live our lives without having a boot on our neck. But we don't want other people to have those rights. That's the problem nowadays. That's the problem with the world nowadays, is we don't want them to have those rights. So that's the problem. You cannot have freedom of speech if you cannot say whatever you want. I understand that there's no freedom from consequences of that speech, but trying to eliminate a person's ability to say things, the chilling effect is terrifying. So when you are advocating people being taken off of platforms like the YouTubes, people being taken off of like the Facebook, when you're advocating for anybody to be deleted, you're unpersoning. And it sucks. It's really terrible. I mean, if you advocate for any person to have their videos, their channel, their voice taken down, then you know what? You know what happens in the darkness, right? It doesn't go away. It's just hidden from view. So what happens to like mold in dark, dank environments? What happens? It festers and grows and grows and grows. And the sentiment against the way things are done is going to get stronger and stronger under the cover of darkness. And that's when it's bad. That's when it's dangerous. That's when things go wrong. We need, as we say, sunlight is the best disinfectant. We need these things aired, because if we hide them from everybody, we can't really justify being surprised when something goes off, when something goes haywire and backwards. We have to be careful, but we have to help to nurture one another, but we also have to be willing to let bad ideas be brought to light so we can tear them apart. You can't fight back against something that's going on in the shadows. You can't even see the form in front of you in the darkness because you can't see your enemy. You can't see your enemy. That's it. We don't have night vision. Natural night vision. We do have, obviously, had night vision technology, but what I'm saying is, metaphorically, we do not see in the dark. What we do when we push things into the dark, we push them out of our mind. Yes, we push them out of our mind as a collective. However, those things do not go away. Certain parts of the world, they'll always exist, no matter what we do, no matter how one world government we get, no matter how big our society gets, no matter how big the knee on our neck pushing down, no matter how big that gets, it will always be there, hiding in the dark. When bad ideas are allowed to not flourish, but allowed to air themselves, people can counteract or at least open up dialogue to expose people to better ideas. Because all that happens is not, oh, you know what? They covered, they lied about this, you know, they wacoed us on this, and we can't trust anything. We can't trust anything. So we are in our echo chamber now. It's sad. We used to live in a society without fear of having every single thing we were saying dragged out and beaten out of us, and then having our history, our not exactly our internet history, but our history of what we said used to rake us over the coals and then destroy us. We don't fear the real dangers of this world. We fear what people tell us to fear. Consider that. That's all I'm going to say. Consider that. I don't know. If you guys want to cancel people for whatever, I'm sure I'd on the list. If I was important enough, if I had more than 7 people watching my videos, I'm sure I would be on the list of people to get rid of. But I'm not. So somewhere in this random meandering nonsense, I have to come to the close. And the close is, if you really want to stand on a principled stance, if you really want to stand on a principle, LA Times and Webb and or Webb, I believe, and Ruff. Sorry, Webb. I don't know who Webb is. Ruff, right? If you guys want to stand on principles, how about this? You say what you're going to say about the guy, and then you stop fucking making money off of him. Okay? Say what you're going to say, move the fuck on, and do something that you can conceive yourself. Instead of standing on the shoulders of a giant, a literary giant, and acting like you're fucking better than him. For one, you're a fucking hack. Acting like you're better than him. But you're not going to stop doing, oh, let's just throw Cthulhu in here. Let me make that money. Let me put Shoggoths in here. Let me make that money. While I appreciate the game, I got to call you out for being a bitch. So, if you're going to criticize the man, stop fucking sucking the blood out of him. He's not even alive anymore, you cowards. I think that's just basically the rehash of everything I've said already. So, poor old Howard Phillips. Kidding. He taking the money. Man, I could have imagine if the guy had like children and grandchildren and great grandchildren. Like, how fucking bold would you guys be then? I mean, look, you're gonna destroy Tolkien, but fuck it. You destroy Tolkien's legacy, and his family exists. His family's still around. That's another story for another time. So, this has been the I Am the Hound segment, and it's gone on a hell of a lot longer than I expected. But know this. I am in the camp of people that believe that if you're going to say something, but you do something else, then you don't really have the moral authority to do anything. You're a coward. And these people that prey upon the legacy of Lovecraft and other writers. There's other writers in history that have had their names dragged through the mud over some thing that was said once. Hell, even people even started to believe the theory that Shakespeare stole all of his stories from some woman. It's like, that's ridiculous. Anyhow, this has been me talking to you about what I consider grave robbing. So if you guys want to chime in the comments, that's great. If you'd like to subscribe to my horrible, horrible channel that has like 30 subscribers if I'm lucky, if I'm soaking wet lucky, do so. I got the hell out of here. I got to go do stuff and run errands and whatnot. So keep it on. Keep it on legit, or whatever the hell I want to say. I'm trying to develop a catchphrase, so kick me with one of those. Send me a catchphrase. I'll fucking say it next time. All right. Trying to remember the Dave Chappelle when he made up that catchphrase. Oh man. Oh, Chappelle. That was the other canceled guy they tried to cancel, but it fell, blew up in their face. Anyhow, I'm out of here. Have fun, and tell me what you think, because I'm sure I'm gonna fucking hear about it, and I want to listen to it. I want to hear it. I want to hear it before I care. Before I say anything else. I want to hear it. Oh man, I can't believe if anybody listened this long to me talking like out of my ass for 41 minutes, you get a prize. I don't know what it is yet. I don't know. You can put in the comments the exact length of this video, because I'll know if you've watched it, because it's like, if you can tell me exactly what the number is at the end of the video, if you have to watch it this far to get this offer, right? So I'll find something to send you. I swear to God. Not the hat, though. The hat stays with me. Hat stays with me. Boston Scally Company, baby. Hat stays with me. This has been the Bacon-Cheddar from the desert. Kicking its ass and calling people out for shenanigans. Take care and FAFO. But peace.